بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the name of the creator of all who exist and all that have existed and all that will exist. He is the everlasting merciful, the everlasting caring and loving, the everlasting sustainer, the everlasting originator. He began in His name alone, and seek in His refuge and in His protection and His aid through the oath of allegiance that we have with Him, which is the Ashhadatu Allah ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu, being the twin declaration of faith. None has the right to be worshipped, none has the right to be praised, none has the right to be glorified, save the Creator, the One. And that He, the Creator, gave the perfect formula to His ambassador, being Gabriel, peace and blessings be upon him, to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. As Jalla Jalaluhu created Adam alayhi salatu wassalam, the father of mankind, all who exist to mankind today. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Iblis, the father of the progeny of jinn today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the final message to Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And we are standing firm as his sibling here in the United States of America. The States of America, who vetoed unequivocally for the sake of staying with its closest companion and ally in the Middle East, and we want to elaborate on why. It is a calling upon the People's Republic of the Shahadatu Allah ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu, founded, established here in the United States of America, being the capital of the Iblisi. And within that capital of the Iblisi is the capital of slavery, the capital of the Confederacy, which is still the capital of Richmond, Virginia, which is still the capital of Virginia. We are here and we are staying firm, and we are standing firm with the entire truth, nothing save the truth, because anything that is not of the truth, it must be falsehood. If we say that we are standing with the Shahada, then that means we are staying with the truth, the entire truth, and nothing save the truth. If we add anything onto that which does not belong, then it is no more the truth, it is no more Islam. This is the problem. We want to complement the attached efforts by the rabbi, attached division of the coalition forces, who came very clean and who gave a very strong historical background on the fact that the rabbis themselves, the Orthodox rabbis, back in 1947, the chief of them, begged the United Nations not to go along with this establishment of such a Zionist state. And it's still in the records. Unfortunately, that history likes to be lost somehow, and the white supremacy takes over, isn't it? The Iblisi side. This is the Iblis means of operation. It's all about what it is that we are entitled to as individuals, isn't it? So you want to ask, why is this ally such a close ally? What is the purpose of this ally? Why do we have to even have? Why must America has to have an ally in the Middle East, the way they're funding them so well that they can commit this type of a genocide? They themselves know that it is a genocide. This question, it is nothing other than pride, nothing other than glory for oneself, for one above another. It is unfortunate that people believe that they can remain in the lives of lies forever, and not only themselves, but they can have their children inherited. Unfortunately, Operation Stop Lying took place 2 years ago, and Allied Operation Coalitional Forces have made it very clear and have set very defined parameters that our generation, this generation today, is very clear. The more they find out about what is transpiring there in the Middle East, the more that they feel obliged to speak up. Not only to speak up, but also to act upon it. And this is how majority of people nowadays are coming into information or understanding as to what is transpiring over in Israel. I'm Israel, and I have to tell and I have to make sure that people understand that my name, my given name, the one that I've chosen to accept, is Israel. Whoever says that they are Muslim and they do not know who Israel was, it's the same as Yaqub, is the same as Jacob. Allah Ta'ala mentions already in the Quran. And I got it through Mikael, the angel of death. So anybody who thinks that, they want to toy around with it, just realize that who I got it through. Because anyway, that's a different story. You'll have to look into the biography. But the point of the matter is that this is a created evil, unfortunately. Unfortunately, when they created it, they were only creating it for white supremacy, to have some kind of influence in the Middle East over those who were indigenous of that area. That's the problem. So they managed to do it, and as we can see, although that they are Arab commentators, they're always wearing the Western attire, having the same names and using the same verbiage. Unlike those who are actually, on the ground and start with Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Those who at the end of the day, they say, Walillahi alhamd. Not like those who are, actually putting the entire trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even when these Arab Muslim nations get together, they always, as many as they are and as much leverage they can pull together, why is it such to where they always have to look forward to, what the organization of, European, or why? Because they're expecting finances from them, or is that all they know economically and socially is how to get the help from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And it goes again for both, for the Muslim and for the Arab nations. What do? It's always, okay, so which superpower is going to help us, instead of Jalla Jalaluhu is the one who is helping us, because they have lost, that touched through this influence that the West has thrown in the Middle East, the same West that threw it into Africa. The same West that actually came over and took the land from the native of North America and South America, Canada, and decided that they were going to, replace with, their own settlements. They were going to build their own kibbutz. But the point of the matter is, it's almost like a history repeating itself. We look at the images on the social media of, people stripped into their underwear. That's not something that we do nowadays. This is something that, we've seen it, in documentaries. It reminds us of the cruelty of dictators and fascism and, that of the Nazis. With all due respect, you as a state, as a legitimate democracy, should never be displaying this. And then one of the spokespersons of the IDF government says that it's really hot in the Middle East. This was his reason. It's really hot in the Middle East. That's why you have them stripped to their underwear. And the other one tried to sell the idea that you have to realize that they're carrying vest, suicide vest, and that's why we have to have them stripped. So that's why they still needed to be in their underwear. To be frank and honest about how the IDF is winning, we need to go down the list. They are winning. they won on a number of fronts. And we all need to be thankful and happy to the IDF for winning on these fronts. IDF at this point has succeeded in getting Muslims and Arabs to come together and proclaim that they are one. And that even includes the Iran, Shia, coming together and saying, wait a minute, we as human beings, all right, no matter what differences that we have, we still hold to the values of Gaza. We still hold to the values of humanity. So Israel, well done with that. Congratulations. The next thing Israel has been able to achieve, very important that everybody must understand. Israel, thank you so very much. I have never seen women, and I'm a man, and I love, yes, I do, women. There's even a surah, I'm supposed to be reading it, named after women. Brothers, sisters, community members of the world, thank Israel for being part of those whom have embraced Islam, so many young girls. May Allah Ta'ala increase them, so many aunties, so many sisters, you know, so many allies, we can just call, so many, because we are all one, we all come from Adam. Congratulations, Israel. You know, we have people all over the world now embracing al-Islam because they're wondering, like, a superpower, which you are in the Middle East, where you were thought to be. So we're getting to your next, you know, very important military success there. But, you know, I've seen and I have listened to so many people recite Quran, so many people read Quran, whether it was at conferences, in class, or in prayer, but I have never seen, there's this one particular Muslim activist, African-American activist. She's become Muslim. I've never seen anyone read the Quran like she has been, not, and I will not say, but the English way of her and her expressions are really, really virtuous and very unique, mashallah. And I never thought I would be saying this, but again, congratulations, Israel, that's me again. Well done, well done. But that again goes to the fact that the power of the Quran, the power of the truth and the miracle of the Quran, and we want to remind people, when you read Quran, remember to not only say that in which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to say, but strengthen your belief with Quran. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. You know, and go further even with the dua of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab. اللهم ارزقني تفكري وتدبر بما يتلوه لساني من كتابك والفهم له والمعرفة بمعانيه والنظر في عجائبه والعمل بذلك ما بقيت إنك على كل شيء قدير. So this is really important for us to know that the Quran is the real truth. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was the Ameen, and that reminds of the Aminul Ummah Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu. See, he was the trustworthy one. So this message that he gave us, we should not be selling it out for absolutely anything. That's how we got to this point. Had the Muslim Arab world been able to unify, I'm not saying it's not their fault that they're not unified today, but really, have they been able to unify under one leadership, today we would not be here, because number one, none of us will sit back and say to that one leader, you don't have a right to act under this situation. And because of that alone, IDF, US of A, whoever, France, Britain, whoever want to say otherwise, they know very well they separated that region, so they would not come together, they would not be one, they would not be under one leadership. And because of that, right now, as they're killing, you know, they are proving otherwise there. They're proving to have, you know, other than, no matter who you're talking about, if they're one of the superpower Muslim countries or one of the Arab super nations, I mean, it does not matter. Your division makes you completely complicit. You know, the fact that you know you're to have leadership and from there you triggered it all the way down to the very basic, educational structure that you have, the very basic social structures that you have, where there's no discipline, there's no structure. So again, we want to congratulate Israel for, bringing that to the forefront. Now people, accepting Islam, people are coming together to oppose falsehood, lies. And never in the history of mankind has such a time been to take advantage of debunkering lies. I mean, there's a whole better career in it now. Prior, there used to be a career in telling lies. Now, the career is in debunking lies. So congratulations on that one. Well done there to Israel. Now, on the military front, we definitely want to say, on the military front, we also wanted to say congratulations there to Israel. Israel managed to get over a very important hurdle on the battlefield, and that was the vision and the diarrhea pandemic that you had. Congratulations. I don't think there was ever a time I have not personally studied a battle or a war that took place where a small force had been in the advantage so well to where the greater force caught diarrhea. So, again, congratulations to Israel for putting that also on the board.